The border rural communities of Armenia are the most disadvantaged in the country due to their isolation, their distance from the capital city of Yerevan, high rate of unemployment, and poor socio-economic infrastructure. UN Development Program responded to a government program to work with the Armenian diaspora and other donors to support the local development of border communities. A joint project of the UN Development Program and Italian government in Lusadzor is involving the community in the very early stages of the project development and prioritization of needs. People identified income generation as the priority task. The rehabilitation of gas and water infrastructure has improved the quality of life, provided seeds, diesel and fertilizer, brought back to life about 52 hectares of arable land. The project has installed new greenhouses in all interested households, which has allowed villagers to cultivate vegetables and greens for local markets. We are old now and can't take care of our cattle in the mountains, but we can still work here in the greenhouse, said 85-year-old Anushavan Matinyan.
С этим проектом мы получили почти все, что хотели. И эти средства, которые мы получили, мы будем поддерживать в дальнейшем. Для сохранения и для развития мы будем создавать такие общины или акционерные общества, которые могут работать, дать прибыль.
As the village enjoys good conditions for cultivating persimmon, in 2-3 years it will be able to cover 1/3 of all Armenian persimmon needs. 146 families received more than 11,000 persimmon seedlings. Benjamin Ayvazyan received the largest amount of seedlings in the village and is now cherishing them with special attention. The global financial crisis is pushing more and more people to return back home, and here, in Lusadzor, they can find a new life. And that's just what this 8-year-old boy, Atabek Ayvazyan, has done. He and his small brother Arman were born in Irkutsk, Russia, where their father Yerjanik worked for 10 years. But 2 years ago, the family came back home. Yerjanik prepares a place in the garden for 2 new greenhouses provided by the project. We will be cultivating vegetables and greens here. We'll try to work with flowers, Yerjanik said. But they won't go back to Irkutsk, said grandfather Frontik Ayvazyan. I will not permit them, and my grandchildren will not be allowed to go abroad either. Do you think they'll obey your decision? We asked Frontik. Yes, they will stay here, he answered. Atabek doesn't have an answer yet, but time will tell. Another small border village, Yervan, located on the place of the ancient Armenian capital along the Arax River between Armenia and Turkey, was one of the examples of successful cooperation between UNDP, USAID, and an Armenian diaspora organization, Children of Armenia Fund, funded by the Armenian origin businessman from the United States. A major problem in Yervan, access to drinking water, was solved, and now all houses in the village have access to drinking water 24 hours a day.
Поставили нас счетчики, они платят, все добросовестно платят. И все у нас получается нормально.
Village Karakert, in Armenian means made of stones, was artificially created during Soviet times. No irrigation system, no water and no jobs. The village had no future. Almost half of people left the village to work abroad. And the community still has many problems.
One of the most difficult regions in Armenia. It was a challenge for our organization, and UNDP for Co-op and for Karakert was the first emergency care agency, and the result is obvious. It was a very successful partnership.
Despite lingering problems, such as imported drinking water or unemployment, the village is alive and developing. The greatest pride of the community is the renovated school and this new community center. Perch Khachaturian, the director of the center, is also the head trainer of the local sport club, which prevents boys from engaging in fighting and other risky behaviors on the street. Additional facilities include computer classes, internet access, and a library, which, according to the librarian Marina Satrian, is always full of people.
Этот центр стал, как сказать, вообще главным центром общения для нашего села. Очень много изменилось. И люди стали как-то по-другому смотреть на жизнь. У них появилась надежда.
In tackling this very serious challenge, the government of Armenia counts on the Armenian diaspora's support. not only through their investments in the Armenian economy, but also by sharing their knowledge, brains, and experiences. Vreshjijan, who was born in Syria, came back to Armenia 12 years ago, married an Armenian woman, and now has 2 children. For the last 5 to 8 years, a lot of people from diaspora have come to Armenia to live here, to buy houses, and to establish businesses.
The reason also is different. First, they feel more secure in Armenia. Second, they might have new economic opportunities in the country that they don't have in their countries there. Third, again, it might be their patriotic inner voice that motivated them to come to Armenia.
The Armenian world is much bigger and goes much beyond the boundaries of the Republic of Armenia. It unites the homeland and the diaspora as one nation. As the homeland is coping, trying to address the consequences of the global crisis, seeking solutions to evolving challenges such as rising unemployment and poverty, the diaspora all over the world could and should extend a helping hand by transferring knowledge and experience, developing capacities, and bringing investments. The link between the homeland and the diaspora has always been very strong. Many prominent and wealthy Armenians living abroad have provided wholeheartedly support to national development agenda and has assisted Armenia and its citizens throughout the difficult years of transition. This trend and this practice should continue, and UNDP stands ready to facilitate this process.